Well, if I'm going to be honest, the offseason was interesting. If you include the one panic buy I did because, panic. We spent a little bit more money than I had planned, but we did improve the team with a lot of free transfers. I spent an inordinate amount of time scouting and searching for some of these guys. Plus, we signed we did sign one player who's been with the team for a while for a really good price. We're about 4 games in. The transfer window is about closed, and, we're doing okay so far. I'd love to sit here and say, oh yeah, La Liga 2 is not all that hard, but yeah, it's that hard. My name's FM20. It's time to get Réal. And here we are on the transfer windows. We did not sell any players. Israel Iglesias left on a free, and then we had a bunch of players go out on loan. The 2 biggest names that probably went out on loan were Mohamed Mizian, who went to Merida, and Borja Gonzalez, who went to Sestao River. And I can't remember where Sestao River is. 3rd Division Group B. I did change skins. This is the TAD 20 skin. I'm really liking it. It's a very cool skin. On the ends, first in, John Ander Obeso. Defensive center back, needed some help there. 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. I'm still getting used to the skin. I'm trying to figure out how old he is. 22 years old, solid physicals. Mentally, he could be a little bit better in things like off the ball, but he's solid everywhere else. I love the determination of 8 is a bit on the low side for me, but that's a personal thing. I'd always like to have my determination be in double numbers or double digits there, but again, that's just me. Technically, he's good where it counts. The 14 heading, 15 marking, 14 tackling is nice. The 11 technique is okay. Jumping each of 11 is okay for this level as well. Brought him on board because I needed depth at my defensive center back position. Next in, Valentin Roubelet, who comes to us from France, I want to say. Well, he's definitely French. He comes to us from Nimes. He was on their squad for a while. Had a really good season for them when they were in the National Group D, which is essentially their B squad. Had 25 appearances, allowed 22 goals, had a 7.9. I clicked the wrong thing. Goalkeeper. 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. As much as I like Dale Calzada at the end of the season, he just fell off the proverbial cliff. Roubelet is a very good sweeper keeper, a very good goalkeeper. Physically, he's pretty solid. The 3 stamina I'm not too worried about because he's a keeper. Mentally, he's good where it counts. The anticipation can be a little bit higher, but I love the decision making. The decision making words are hard today. The determination is nice. The positioning is nice as well. Goalkeeping wise, he's solid. The aerial reach of 16 is great. Command of area is average, and kicking one-on-ones and reflexes are all average as well. But frankly, I'm not. And George is spying something out the window up the stairs. Sorry. They're average for, I would consider this level of football, maybe a bit on the low side, but he's been a solid keeper for us so far. As you can see down here, in the 4 games we played, he's allowed 3 goals, but he's also had 3 shutouts. Jose Luis Garcia. Advanced midfielder on the left. I needed some depth there. He comes in, 1-star current ability, 3-star potential ability. I brought him in for the B squad more than anything else. Physically, the strength is a bit low. Technically, he's not great, but he could be better. Mentally, he's solid where it counts. He's here as a depth move. I brought him on because I needed help on the B squad, and I needed an emergency left midfielder just in case. Alex Robles, Sevilla Atletico didn't want to re-sign him. I tried getting him back on loan, and they said no. And then I guess he tried signing they offered him a contract, and he said no. Cost us 90,000 euros. I don't know why they didn't want to let him go out on loan. I guess they figured they want the one of the 90,000 euros for him. Ignore the down arrows. It's FM being FM again. 4-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. We know what he can do for us because he's been doing it the past 2 seasons. Really solid defensive right back. And for 90,000 euros, I'm getting a really good player for this level of football. Antonio Mianic comes to us on loan from Milan. And I will admit, I may have cheated here a little bit. Having played Milan my last save and knowing the size of their roster, I did go specifically looking at the team to see who they had, but something tells me that that happens in real life too. Plus, I started getting a lot more scouting reports and analyst reports from players in places like Croatia and the Netherlands and Italy. I don't know Antonio Mionic, though. He is, I don't want to say a new gen. I just don't remember him on my squad. And, chances are he was there. But, one of those guys who got lost in the shuffle. Started for them, or actually, let me go back here. Started for Pisa last year in Serie B. Okay season. 35 appearances, 1 assist, 6.7. I like him. He's got potential. 4-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Really good physically. Mentally solid where it counts. Technically solid where it counts. Plays a really good advanced playmaker in the midfield. Also plays a bunch of other positions there fairly well. I brought him in initially more as depth, but he's been getting the starts because Sagato has kind of fallen off a little bit. But between him, Sagato, and Sands, I've got a decent rotation going. And plus, I've got a couple of youth players I think I'd like to try and bring in as well. Abubakar Karamoko is my panic signing of the season. 300,000 euros. Comes to us from CD Lugo. Picked him up because he plays a really good midfielder on the right. 22 years old. 3-star current ability. 4-star potential ability. Physically, okay, not the best in terms of jumping reach. Mentally, the 4 bravery is just... It's a bit of a killer. That was one of the things that wasn't fully scouted when I panicked and signed him. But the decision-making is okay. The determination, flair, and off the ball are okay. Technically, he's good. He's not 300,000 euros good. I overpaid for him. There's just no two ways about it. And then Joe Powell. This was interesting. He came up on the scouting reports as available on a free. And I said, you know what? Okay, I'll bring you in on a trial. And he came in on a 4-week trial. And a week in, I looked at him and said, you know what? For a 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, 23-year-old midfielder who can also play, he can play, he's an advanced midfielder, but he can also play midfielder and advanced midfielder on the left, which is where I am retraining him. And I did not save the game when I did that yesterday. So let me go back here and do this real quick. Inside forward attack, attacking movement. And we'll go back, and I keep clicking the wrong thing there because he has a very strong left foot. I want to train him as a winger. That's what I wanted to do. I'm getting him mixed up with another player. It says he's already a good attacking midfielder. Oh, that's because it's the center. Accomplished. Winger. I clicked the wrong thing again. Wow, okay, this is going to take a little bit of getting used to. Anyhow, he came in, I had him on trial, I saw how good he was, and I offered him a contract. He wanted 12,500 euros. And I was like, dude, you're nuts. And I let him go. I canceled the trial. And then 5 weeks later, he was still available. And I went to him again and was like, hey, you're still available. I'm still interested in you playing for me. Want to come on board? And he said, sure. And I did the whole contract thing, and he said, well, make me an offer. So I had my GM make him an offer, and we settled on 5,250 euros a week. It's probably a little bit high, but I think he's worth it. He's definitely a very good center midfielder. I don't play that position all that much, but he's also versatile, which I like. On the outs, Christian Marquez, Jabalilo Jordan, Jorge Carrion, Paul Ballesteros, and Samuel Reda all left. I don't know that they all got picked up by anybody. Let's find out here. Jorge Carrion is currently playing for Karabakh in Turkey? Okay. No, Karabakh is Kazakhstan? I should know this. And none of the other guys got picked up yet, which leads me to believe that letting them go was a good idea. And then, let me see here real quick. We didn't have any exchange players. Free transfers. Israel Iglesias left. Those guys came in. Loan deals. We got in Antonio Mionic. Those were the guys that came out. We do have Javi Pueda and Jaime Hardate from last year. We just had the 2 cash players. So we've got a little bit of money left in the budget. We'll go to that here in a minute. I don't think I have any future transfers coming in. Nope. Budget-wise, we're doing okay. We are still 8,000 euros under our payroll budget. I've still got a little bit over 250,000 euros in the transfer budget. The scouting budget is set, but if it's not, I'm more than happy to lose money off the transfer budget for that. Money-wise, we're in the black at the moment. Last season we lost money. This season we made a little bit more, but a lot of that is TV money. Schedule-wise, I didn't play the most aggressive of friendly schedules. I only scheduled 4, and that was because for the longest time I thought getting promoted was a joke because they kept us in the Segunda B until about a week before the season actually kicked off. The transfer window we started in was the Segunda B transfer window, not the La Liga 2 transfer window. I guess they start on different dates. Maybe they start on the same dates. I don't know, but I'd have to go back and check, and frankly, it's been about 3 or 4 days since I fired this up. So I just, it was one of those cases where I kept going back saying, you got promoted, just to make sure it was right. I mean, I literally took a screenshot to make sure we'd gotten promoted, because usually when you get promoted, you go to the new division fairly quick. It doesn't happen a week before the division actually kicks off. So I didn't schedule a ton of friendlies. We got 4 of them. We did pretty good. And then the season kicked off. We played CA Osasuna first, and they were relegated last season, and they beat us 3-2. This was a bit of a bummer of a game because it took a Niles Peterson goal in the 56th minute for them, or in the 76th minute rather, for them to win. Javi Prado had a brace of goals that were both really, really nice. We were then home against Granada, and we drew against them. This was a solid game for us, but we just could not break through their defense. My defense and my midfielders had solid games. Clemente was player of the match based on his defensive performance. But if we look at the analysis here, they sat pretty much well back in the midline. They weren't Atletico versus Liverpool where everybody was on the goal of the box, but their defenders were good enough that they stopped most of our attacks. If you look at the match stats, you pull that up here, we had 14 shots, 7 on target. They had 18 and 6. We had a huge possession advantage. We just can't do anything with it. And then we had a game against Celta de Vigo, their B squad, away, which we won thanks to a goal by Javi Prado. And then we beat Esti Huesca 1-0 thanks to a goal by Jaime Harde. I'm going to be mispronouncing these names back and forth. It is what it is. Apologies for anybody who is having to hold their ears because I'm screwing up, but it's going to be an entire save thing. And this was a solid game for us. 21 shots, 11 on target to 7 and 4. Huesca is not the best team. They were actually slated for relegation. They were picked by the pundits for relegation. And actually, as I click all the way back here, we can check that out in just a minute. I could have just saved myself some trouble by clicking. Okay, where are the standings? Oh, this is where the standings are supposed to be. League table. So currently we're in 7th place. We've been picked to finish 18th to get relegated. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to be fighting relegation. So CNA Osasuna is picked to go up. So is Alves and Valladolid. And that's the Valladolid team that we took to penalty kicks in the Copa del Rey. We've got a fighting chance, I think. Ponteferra, Hercules, and Numancia are not good teams, having scouted them out. We've got a puncher's chance. So it's I'm going to highlight this in the next episode when we get into the spreadsheet about where we need to finish. So I think, we've turned in some good performances so far against some really nice teams. We've got an opportunity, I think, to fight relegation. And I think the player changes we made, let me go here to the depth chart, have been really, really good. We got Prado and Hardy. We got Prado and Ruiz up top. Hardy's on the left with Powell backing him up there. Powell can also play the center when I play my 4-3-1-2. We got Hardy will play on the right when he's not playing on the left with Karamenko. Well, Karamenko's starting on the right, so Hardy's playing on the left, but Bannon can come on the left and Hardy can switch to the right. Midfield-wise, I'm fairly happy with Mionic, Sands, and Segato. Powell can also drop back as well. He's a capable defensive midfielder. Rochi can definitely play up. I'm trying to play him more. Defensively, we're doing well. Barrera's only 2.5 stars, but it's a solid 2.5 stars. If we go back here to attributes, he's not lacking in any one area, but he's not, excelling in any one area either. And then, we got Clemente, we got Obeso, we got Goronio, and then Rochi as the defensive center backs, Robles and Garcia, who is Oh, when did I bring him on? Was it last year? Was it this year? Yeah, he came in on a free. Completely misremembering that. But, you know, a solid player who's a more than capable backup, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He and Robles will probably swap out every once in a while, especially when I need Robles to jump over and play defensive center back. De La Calzada is backing up Robilet, which is fine. Robilet's turned in some really good performances for us so far. So today, it's just going to be the one game. We're going to play Ponferradina. We're going to play Ponferradina, who are 17th. So maybe not the best squad, but I'm reasonably sure a lot of their players are at least equal to or better than ours. So far, the board likes what we've been doing, but they're not happy with the deal to sign Abubakar Karamoko, and I totally agree with them on that. So I'm going to get to the game. We're going to set the best 11, check the reserves, and we're going to come back with our match against Ponferradina in just a bit. Well, we are playing our 4-2-4, of course. Rebouillet in goal. Barrera, Clemente, Obeso, and Robles as the defensive back four. Mionic is back from international duty. He and Sands are the starting midfielders. Yardi and Karamoko, the attacking midfielders. Puado and Ruiz up top as the strikers. I do not recognize any of these names, but a lot of them have photos. Fuentes is their striker. Not the best, although he did have 16 goals at Alaves B. So, let's get this underway here. Well, throw in. This is early. Clemente to Puado. Back to Clemente. He sends it in. Ruiz is there, and he skies it over the crossbar. Was a good attempt. Change this to... Corner kick in. Mionic sends it back to Ruiz, who's dispossessed. Rios taps it up to Diarra. Out to Valcarce, who's one-on-one with Rebouillet, and he deflects it wide left. Well done. Corner kick in for Ponferradina. And it is skied over the crossbar on the header. Throw in to Diarra, who centers it to Valcarce. He sends it back to Rios. All the way back to Guerreros. Long pass, but errant. Barrera sends it up to Hardy. Back to Barrera. He drives forward, crosses into the center line. In the center of the field, which all the way over to the right side, which for a defensive left back is interesting. Ruiz to Karamoko. He's got help. Instead, he's going to be dispossessed by Ruiz, but goes right to Robles. Bounce back and forth. Ruiz gets the carom and heads it over the crossbar. The guys have got to be a little bit smarter than that. Told them to get creative, and now they're inspired. Let's see if it gets us some goals. Corner kick in for Ponferradina. Fuentes heads it over the crossbar. Coxe throws it away, but they get it back. Son, not that Son, to Emmanuel, back to Son, to Munoz, to Son, to Manuel, up to Diarra. Oh, he's dispossessed, goes right to Bouillet. Right to Rebouillet, I should say. Obeso, up to Sands. Over to Robles, who loses, he almost loses it. Back to Sands. Long pass towards Karamoko, who does get the ball. Holds it up, sends it to Ruiz. Puado is there, and he blasts it by Carlos. Wow, did we get lucky. Karamoko got lucky. Robles got lucky when he didn't lose the ball. Karamoko got lucky. Oh, nice first touch. And the Ponferradino defender, Munoz, just absolutely misplayed that. I had my browser window open, was reading through Fox News and CNN and a couple other places, and they had a video going on in the background. And up until about 2 weeks ago, when I realized I'd fixed it, the video playback was actually coming in as part of the recording sound. So I was a little bit panicked there. I thought, maybe you had CNN going all over the background of the first half there. And it's been a decent first half for us. 7 shots, 2 on target, nice possession advantage. The Puado goal was very, very nice. We got lucky on it. I will be the first to admit it, but we did get lucky on it. We've held Ponferradina to 4 shots, 2 on target. And Karamoko seemed to calm down after I told him to calm down, so that worked. No kickoff highlight in the second half. That's interesting. Barrera, penalty kick in. Clemente bangs it off the post. And somebody from Ponteferradino touched it last because it went in for a corner kick for us. Carlos, a very nice stop. Okay, about 62 minutes in. Yeah, they're sitting way back. You know, we're just going to have to keep bringing it to them. We're going to make a couple subs here. We're going to get Karamoko off. And swap him with Yardy. Yardy's not having the best game. We're going to bring on Joel Powell to play the left there. Robles isn't having the best game either, so we're going to bring on Ruben Garcia. Powell sends it in. Oh, and it's lost in the crowd and eventually headed over well above the crossbar. But somebody was fouled. Who's going to take this? That is Powell. Okay. And well done, Joe. I'm surprised Ruiz wasn't taking that. You know, let me see something here real quick. Powell. Free kick taking a 14. Penalty taking a 13. Ruiz. Oh, he's 10. Okay, that's why. Okay, you know what? I'm okay with that. Carlos with the goal kick. Sends it up. Valcarce's there. Holds it up. Drops it off to Rios, who sends it back to Trigueros. Up to Diarra. Over to Alonso. Oh, he passes it up into space. Miscommunication there. Yardy. Cuts inside. Gets by one defender. Has help. Drops it off to Garcia, who centers it back to Sands. Mionic. Out into space. Barrera's going to run that down. Holds it up. Crosses it in, but it goes right to Carlos. That was a bit unfortunate. Carlos. Oh, Yardy had it, but he lost it. Diarra taps up to Fuentes. Back to Diarra. Out into space. Valcarce is going to run it down. However, our defense is back. And Coxe. Nice goal. His fourth goal of the season. Yeah, he was just unmarked. I'm not exactly going to blame Barrera there, but that was Barrera's responsibility. Clemente on the throw-in. Loses it. It's knocked away, but Mionic's going to run it down. Drives left. Holds it up. Crosses it in. Yardy's there. And over the crossbar. You know, we've got a few minutes left. Let me see here. Ruiz is not having the best game. Yardy's not having the best game. The defenders are doing okay. You know what? I'm not going to make any changes right now. 10 minutes left. Four minutes of extra time. And that is the game. We win 2-1. An upset, really. Ponteferradina is not the best team so far, but they are definitely solid. 15 shots, 6 on target for us, 6 and 3 for them. Well, we just really shut them down. But then again, they were playing so far back. They were trying to hit us on the counter. And it worked more than a couple of times. If not for some really nice play by Karamoko and a couple other players, this game could have gone a lot differently. Although the Coxe goal was nice. Tell the boys a good win and well done. Powell scores in his debut, which was nice. We'll do the press conference here in a little bit. Let's see who we're going to come back for. You know, we'll come back for Real Madrid, Castilla, and Lugo. Let's see where they are. They're both mid-table. Okay, that's solid. We can work with that as long as we stay healthy. As you can see, we're doing okay. Our 10 goals, or 6 goals rather, are 10th highest in the league. Our 4 goals allowed are 6th best. 14 yellow cards are first in the league. That is a FM20 team right there, let me tell you. If we're going to be winning one thing, it's going to be yellow cards. And I've got an A+. Holy cow. Of course, I had an A at the end of last season, but not an A+. This is nice. You know what? Let me save this just in case. So that is what we are going to do. I think it was a very good transfer window. Yes, I overpaid for Karamoko, but that was me panicking. I improved the keeper position, which I wanted to improve. I think I got better in every position I wanted to improve at. I don't think we got worse, really. If there's one place we are probably a little thin now that I think about it, it's up top at striker because we let Mizian go. But I've got more than a couple players who can play striker, and I think I'm pretty solid there. Plus, the squad's full up. We're only allowed 25 players. So I'd have to let someone go in order to bring someone in, which is eminently possible. I did try getting rid of Tindio and a couple players like that, but there was no takers. And I don't think I have Tindio registered for the season anyways. So that said, if you did like what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticisms, comment, leave those down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. My name is FM20. I thank you for